Sirius XM's Hip Hop Nation, you're tuned in to the Sarge and Q Revue. And Sarge, each and every night here, I would say, for the last, 4 years now?
For the last 4 years.
We open our show with some energy.
Let me tell you something, Orlando. I was on World Star before we introduced the Doctor. I was on World Star.
Looking through the things that World Star presents.
I always look for the good stuff on World Star. And you
don't be looking for strippers fighting or anything like that.
Of course not.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Okay, so I was on World Star, and there was this guy on the football field of the Oregon Ducks screaming at the camera, motivating everybody to do something greater than themselves. So I went from World Star to the YouTube, and I got in early. Everybody else got in kind of late.
No, Sarge was early.
You know, this is before the Respect magazines and the world tours and then the books and And I said, you know what? We're gonna start using some of these clips on our radio station. And now things have proliferated, and now he went from the master's degree to now he's a doctor. Dr. Eric Thomas is
welcome to the show.
Proliferated. I just want to start there with the 50-cent dollar. Yeah, we put in work. I feel like I'm working on a dissertation again. Yeah, great to be here, guys.
Yo, I gotta start off by saying it's kind of so weird to hear you here because
look around.
It's yours. And now we got it live in person. Welcome to the show,
man. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me.
You know what? You know what? Honestly speaking, and it's kind of a generic question, but it. With you, it just takes on a whole nother life of its own. How has the journey been from homelessness to Dr. Thomas?
It's been sweet, man. Like it, literally, I tell young people, stop rushing to blow up. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride. So, I was, when they hooded me for, the PhD process, the guy, my advisor was like, yo, is there anything specific you want me to say? I said, don't forget to tell them about the GED. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to say the GED. And I saw a lot of young men, teenagers that were there with their family members, and I wanted them to hear, like, yo, this kid came from a GED. So while they're in the ceremony, they're kind of feeling like, yo, I could do this too, if that's where my man started. So the journey has been phenomenal. It's been rewarding. And when you touch so many lives, I think that's what makes it great. You're not up there by yourself. You're up there, and man, you just see all the people that have been touched by and blessed by the journey that I've been on. It's great, man.
And you're on tour right now.
Yeah. We actually were here with the NBA doing something for the rookie training program. So that was a phenomenal experience. Just getting an opportunity to really speak life. And here's the thing, man. When people talk about your career, everything changes for me now. Same message, but my son is their age.
Right.
So I remember when I used to talk to athletes, what I'm saying?
Saw your son graduate, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like, man.
Been through the journey with you, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This kid, man, is their age. So I feel like it's shifted in that I'm talking to my son now. You know what I'm saying? They're 21, 22, and so things have changed having children in college. It's more personal now. It's like I'm talking to my own.
But
so the passion is there.
Here's the head crack.
Yeah.
With guys like you. Jadakiss was up here with us. And Jadakiss, it's beautiful that you use I know people's brand changes and everything, but when I first connected, it was the hip hop preacher.
Yep.
And the hip hop thing gravitated towards me because you know what? There's a spirituality side to us all.
Absolutely.
I was raised foot wash Baptist.
No doubt.
They dipped me two times in the pool.
Absolutely.
The first time didn't work.
They wanted to make sure.
Here's the thing. but when you put hip hop in front of it, it just brought us together. So we had Jadakiss up in here, and he was like, "Man, the beauty of being a father." Coming from the hip-hop generation is now like, you know what, me and my son, we share J's. Yeah. Me and my son, we share music. And that's what I think your connection to this culture is.
Absolutely. And everybody's like, well, how do you relate to him? Because you lived in my house.
Yeah.
I raised you from, the hospital to college, and so while it was my son, having him and my daughter still allows me to share that experience. So when I'm going into a room, it's like I'm talking to my babies. I'm talking to my own. And so I believe it takes it to I've always been doing it, but the passion, you notice lately, has been out of this world.
But you can say, I had them sevens.
Yep. Before you had them 7s. No doubt.
Well, E.T., Sarge discovered you about 4 years ago, and people are discovering you every day now. You have an inspiring story. Share some of that story. I mean, he mentioned earlier, you at one point in your life you were homeless.
Yeah. Well, I tell people, I'm a failure who learned from his mistakes. Don't look at me as somebody who's deep. Like, I made my mistakes, but I think the difference between me and a lot of people who've also made mistakes, they didn't learn from them. So you got dudes my age, man, that like they still living in the same neighborhood, doing the exact same stuff. It's like life stopped for them after we turned 17, 18. It's like it was like a time capsule or something.
You reached your peak.
Yeah, they got trapped. And then here I am, 45 as well, but have traveled the world, been able to go through a couple college classrooms, NFL, NBA, corporate, whatever. And I'm not better than them. Like, we all from the same block. We the same people. I just was like, yo, E, stop bumping your head in the same, at least if you're going to bump it in a different spot. Like, don't bump it in the same spot.
Right.
So the GED, I failed. Didn't finish school. 12 years to get the 4-year, 12 years to get a 4-year degree. Failed, but took that into the master's program. Did well in that, and then let that momentum take me into, the PhD. So mom, pregnant at 17 years old. She got kicked out. Just barely finished high school because she was pregnant. So man, it's just been a life of mistakes. We come from the bottom. We've been disadvantaged. Didn't have a whole lot, but we learn from our mistakes. We stop making excuses. Yeah. We start making adjustments, and those small adjustments get a little bigger, get a little better. And before you know it, here I am, 45 with 2 kids in college, married 26 years, couple degrees, and
couple books.
Yeah, couple books, man. Couple. You know what I'm saying? So
couple corporate endorsements.
Yeah. Just a couple. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? NFL, NBA.
Talk to a few athletes here and there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nothing
swag.
Yeah,
nothing
deep. Nothing deep.
877-60 Hip Hop. It's the Sergeant O Q Review. We're hanging out with Dr. Eric Thomas.
Word up.
E.T.
It's very important that we put that in front of that.
It's Hip Hop Nation. It's the Sergeant O Q Review right here on Sirius XM Hip Hop Nation. We're having a good time. We got Dr. Eric Thomas hanging out with us. E.T.
Man,
motivator, philanthropist, scholar. And so much more to this culture. Let me tell you something.
Hooper. No. I just
y'all ball?
I just thought
I see you ball.
You know what I'm saying? I just
you talk a lot of ball and you hang around. You wear a lot of jerseys and crap. I ain't never seen you like rock.
No. It just sound good.
Hey, I will tell you this, and this is one of them head cracks too, and it's a caveat. I saw the journey that you had to reconnecting with your father.
Yeah.
Right, and every Monday for TGIM, I was, I tune in like the world tunes in, et cetera, but then I saw you had this daddy issue, right? And the person I was dating at the time, they was like, you know what, you can't be a good husband until you get over your daddy issues. And I watched you get over your daddy issues. So I went to Louisiana, and I mean, me and you were the same. I couldn't stand them dogs, But after watching your journey to reconnecting, and your father waiting to be the last person in the room to speak to you, I just gravitated towards that, man. And I had my first conversation in about 20 years with my old man.
Wow.
Now don't get me wrong, he still lives with my mother. They're still married. Yeah. I would go to Louisiana. I would get a hotel room. I wouldn't even go to the house. I tell my mother, stand outside of the house.
Wow.
Come outside of the house. I'll take that. That's how much anger and all of that stuff that I had inside of me, man. And I'm telling you, you can answer how you want to answer, but I'm just letting you know that through your journey. And I don't know how many people come up to you with stories like mine,
Absolutely.
But it helped me get over it, and it showed me that forgiveness is not for those people, but it's for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, come on, you just said it. I mean, that's it, And let me just say to everybody who's listening, who's like, yo, that sound good, fellas, but I ain't ready for that yet. This is what I say. It's going to be hard for you to fly. Now, you can fly, but it's going to be hard for you to fly with a 500-pound weight on your body, And once you forgive, you just let it's not like you just learn how to fly. You know how to fly, but that 500 pounds come off of you, man, there's some stuff you could do that you couldn't do before. There's a freedom that you have, and there's a power that you have that you didn't have before. So let it go, man.
I would go to functions with my sister's wedding. I go to function and I'd be like, you know what? I do everything before I would do everything to avoid, but now it's like, you know what, I understand him a little bit better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now I have empathy that I didn't have before.
Yep. I'm just not saying just for him, but you start having it for people.
Yeah.
You know, and I say this, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, I feel like, and we'll never know, but I feel like my love for my son and my daughter is greater because of it. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like the love is greater. Yeah, I feel like the love is greater.
Honestly speaking, you know, I really didn't understand, you know, how those things, and I guess it goes back to the first break when we was talking about regret. You know what I'm saying? Like with everything in your life, how'd you let go of that, of all of that regret to move forward?
I had to, man, for the sake of my son. You know, like I didn't want my son, you know, to ever have that bitterness that I had, because we both know, you just said it, man, like you got to go out your way, you know, at functions. You know, at celebrations, family stuff, you got to go out your way. Like, okay, I don't want to be around him, and I didn't want my son or my daughter.
Go up there and get some soda, but he's standing right there.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want my kids. Can you move? Yeah, I didn't want my kids to feel that. I wanted them to be able to freely, and I mean for real, y'all hear us, we laugh and joke about, but it's real.
It's real.
It's real. It's what happened. So a lot of y'all may not understand it. Like, why would you do that?
You laugh now.
Yeah, but the pain is why you do it. So I didn't want my kids to experience that. I want them to walk into a room and not know anything or not have any boundaries or any other than themselves.
Right.
So my thing is, if y'all don't make it, it's because y'all chose not to make it. But you won't have all the barriers that I had in front of me.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, it's crazy that, you know, that people give you that title, the hip hop preacher. How do you feel about the landscape of what's going on in hip hop? I know that you and your partner CJ are branching out and exposing different and alternative you know, music to the culture.
Yeah.
You know, let me take the gloves off. You know, a lot of that so-called message rap, it was just whack.
Yeah.
You know, and me and CJ talk behind the scene. I'm like, listen, I get it, but it got to be dope first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know, like,
and you know what C and I are doing, man, for real. This, you know, I'll say it. You know, as far as these kids are concerned, I'm old, but you know, we started
this is our culture.
Yeah, this is ours. We started this, right? So for me, it's like, okay, so maybe you don't understand what hip hop is. I get that. You're talking 20-something years in game. I get it. So for us, it's like, I'm not gonna fight with y'all. So what I'm gonna do is we gonna make it back to what we knew it was, you know. And so we're gonna find an artist that can do it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we feel. It's like, yo, I'm not, look, little man, you want to do that? You know, is that what the message y'all want to push?
That's been the conflict, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though.
It's been
like,
whack, you know?
Yeah, it is. And it's no, I mean, man, the other day, forgive me, the other day, I was listening to some stuff. I just had to stop and put on Run DMC. Yeah, for real. I just put on Run, so I just wanted to hear them go back and forth. Right. I just wanted to hear the DJ doing his thing. I listened to some Eric B. and Rakim. Like, I just wanted to go back to when it was just the DJ, everybody, the lyrics, everything was just, you know. And so, you know, CJ and I talk, and it's just like, look, see, we got to save it. We got to save our sons, you know, so we can't debate. We can't argue with who doing what. We're not going to be able to change the game, the two of us, but we can change the game by giving the young people something that, this is what we love about TGIM.
Yes.
And we don't say this a lot, but we like the fact that the father, the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather, the babies, the neighbors can all come together and watch our TGIM. Right. And so we just saying we want some music that allows the whole entire family to sit there and enjoy it.
But TGIM is dope.
Yeah.
You understand?
So I'm just concerned about the whackness.
Oh, absolutely.
Whackness factor.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about TGIM.
They like the whackness factor.
The whackness factor.
Let me sit back and tell you about your stuff. And listen, you know, like you'll go, but here's the thing, like you did the Kobe analogy, right? Like, yo, Kobe missed a shot. Everybody left. It's Miami, right? You can tell I'm a super fan. Kobe missed a shot. You said Kobe could have did anything that he wanted to do in Miami, but he stayed and he shot that shot that he missed. That was the last second shot. I relate to Kobe. I relate to your LeBron analogies, et cetera, et cetera. You see, when it comes down to the music with a message, I relate to the message. It's just that the music and the presentation got to be dope. And that's what I think that has to connect, you know.
But I'm just saying, for whatever reason, this generation, you know, it's like they accept whack. like they into whack.
Can't
You know
stand
what I'm
no
saying?
kind of
I'm just
whack.
saying they into whack. Like
Yeah.
they think is as long as it's got a beat. Like some of the stuff I don't even know if it's like physical words. Like I'm not sure if it's a phrase or what it is, but they accept it. And as long as they accept it, they gonna keep giving it to them. You feel me?
Is there a plan like to balance out? Well, we don't want to be too preachy. You know what I mean? Or talking down.
No balance. No balance, bro. We just being 100. Like whatever, it's pure fire that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking. I'm like, people talk about some of these rappers that go in the booth and they don't write nothing down.
Yeah.
We going in, we don't write nothing down because if it's pure, if it's from the heart, it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's real hip hop. So no, we not watering it down. Our artists that's coming out, they not watering it down. Yeah, we gonna take it there.
All right, 877-60 Hip Hop. Dr. Eric Thomas hanging out with us on the Sarge and OQ Review. It's Hip Hop Nation. Looking through the things that World Star presents.
I always look for the good stuff on World Star, and
You don't be looking for strippers fighting or anything like that.
Of course not.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Okay, so I was on World Star, and there was this guy on the football field of the Oregon Ducks, screaming at the camera, motivating everybody to do something greater than themselves. So I went from World Star to the YouTube, and I got in early. Everybody else got in kind of late.
No,
now,
Sarge was early.
This was before the Respect magazines and the World Tours and then the books and And I said, you know what? We're gonna start using some of these clips on our radio station. And now things have proliferated. And now he went from
Yeah.
from
Big
the
words.
master's degree to now he's a doctor. Dr. Eric Thomas is
Welcome to the show.
Proliferated. I just want to start there with the 50-cent dollar. Yeah, we put in work. I feel like I'm working on a dissertation again. Yeah, great to be here, guys.
Yo, I gotta start off by saying it's kind of so weird to like hear you here because
Look around, look around.
it's yours. And now we got it live in person.
No
Welcome
doubt.
to the show.
Man, glad to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me.
You know what? You know what? Honestly speaking, and it's kind of a generic question, but it with you, it just takes on a whole nother life of its own. How has the journey been from homelessness to Dr. Thomas?
It's been sweet, man. Like it, literally. I tell young people, stop rushing to blow up.
Sirius XM's Hip Hop Nation, you're tuned in to the Sarge and OQ Review. And Sarge, each and every night here, I would say, for the last, 4 years now?
For the last 4 years.
We open our show with some energy.
Let me tell you something, Orlando. I was on World Star before we introduced the doctor. I was on World Star,